Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Batel from Batel's Kitchen, and today I am super excited to be back with a new anti-inflammatory, high in protein, cauliflower and roasted sweet potato nourishing bowl for you guys. I absolutely love this kind of meal, especially when it's kind of like a sharing plate. Today I'm going to show you how to use your pantry spices, something that is so easy to add to our dishes to fight inflammation and to strengthen our immune system, especially for our kids. All the measurements for this recipe are going to be in the description box below or on my website, battelskitchen.com. Okay guys, let's get started. We're going to start by taking a big bowl and fill it out with water in order to clean our cauliflower. Today I'm using a shortcut with using a cut cauliflower, but feel free to use a whole one if that's what you've got on hand. We're going to add a nice amount of kosher salt just to clean it up and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes while we take care of the rest of the vegetables. If you have sweet potatoes that are organic, you're gonna see the difference. They're absolutely much more sweet, delicious, and soft, and it is just something that is so unbeatable. So if you can have the organic one, go for this one. We're also gonna add a big fresh red onion, and if you have a small one, you can use 2 of them. We're gonna wash everything, and now we're ready to chop. We're going for very rough chops over here, just rough pieces of vegetables. We want to have the bite and we want to have the chunk of every vegetables to taste and enjoy the texture and flavor that it offers. So the sweet potato, we're cutting it into big pieces as well as the onion. At this point, our cauliflower have been sitting in the water and is probably cleaned from dirt or any bugs. We can also add vinegar if we need to, or baking soda, whatever you prefer. And we're going to wash everything very thoroughly in order to make sure that there is no salt or dirt left. We're going to take a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and we're going to add all these vegetables into our tray. Our oven is preheated to 375 Fahrenheit, and at this point we want to season everything to taste. So we're taking extra virgin olive oil and we're drizzling on all these vegetables, and at this point we want to season it with salt and pepper. When it comes to those warm, anti-inflammatory, colorful, deep spices, I love using gloves just to protect my fingers from all these colors. So I'm putting my gloves on, and we're going to add those beautiful healing spices that we should all keep in the pantry. I am starting with cumin that we're going to add. Cumin is so healthy and good for the gut and for so many immune problems. We're also going to add turmeric, which has so many healing benefits, fighting cancer, healing our cells, and adding so much protection to our body. We're going to continue with a similar spice, which is curry powder. I'm going for a regular one, and we're going to add garlic powder. You feel free to use a regular fresh garlic if you would like. We're going to mix everything until everything is very thoroughly coated and super flavorful, and we're ready to put it into the oven to bake. We're going to bake it for about 35 to 40 minutes, and in the meantime, we're going to take care of our protein for this dish, which is homemade chickpeas. Feel free to use a can if that's what you've got on hand. Just make sure to wash it really well. I'm using frozen chickpeas, which I've been making for so many years now. I keep it in the freezer, and whenever I need, I have the conveniency of just letting it thaw or just putting it into a water, and then it is ready to go. I'm seasoning everything with very similar spices to what we've seasoned our vegetables that are now roasting in the oven, and we're starting with salt and pepper and olive oil. We're going to add some garlic powder, followed by cumin, and we're going to add curry powder as well, which I absolutely love with chickpeas. It is just so good together. And we're going to add our turmeric as well. I'm also adding paprika. Feel free to use a smoked paprika or regular sweet paprika, and a tiny bit of honey or maple syrup just to balance the flavors and also add a beautiful color to these chickpeas. We're gonna open our oven, put it in, and let it roast. We're gonna keep an eye so nothing burns. In the meantime, we're ready to make the star of the show, which is basically our golden tahini. I'm using whole tahini as opposed to a regular tahini because it has more calcium. And I'm starting with the water instead of the tahini, just so that the tahini doesn't stick to the bottom and doesn't blend. And I love using a blender cup because the consistency of the tahini is just unbeatable. We're gonna add fresh garlic, which is also anti-inflammatory and just like antibiotic and so good for us. And we're gonna add fresh lemon as well. To this tahini, we're gonna season everything with similar spices again. We're gonna go with cumin, turmeric, curry powder, and of course salt and pepper to taste. And again, I want to balance everything in terms of flavors, so I'm adding a tiny bit of honey, but feel free to use maybe 1 shallow teaspoon of brown sugar, or maybe even a date, or whatever comes to mind. We're gonna let it blitz until everything is super smooth, emulsified, and delicious. And it is very important to give it a taste test as well. The more the tahini will sit, the more the flavors will marry and develop. So let it sit for maybe 20 minutes before you actually pour it. We want to have it a little bit more on the runny side, so I'm adding a tiny bit more water, giving it a final shake, and then I'm ready to transfer it to a bowl before we actually serve it with our dish. It is pourable, it is perfect, it is drinkable, and so delicious, besides the fact that it is so healthy. Our vegetables are nicely roasted and golden brown, and we're ready to add our roasted chickpeas as well. At this point, we're just going to mix everything so everything is thoroughly distributed within the tray, and we're ready to serve it. Today I'm serving it family style, so everybody can grab a scoop onto maybe their quinoa or rice, or maybe enjoy it with bread, whichever way you prefer. But don't forget that the most important part is, of course, our golden tahini. It complements every single bite and makes it super decadent and fancy, as if you eat in the most delicious restaurant that you've eaten in your life. In order to brighten all the flavors, I'm adding a few more touches, which are optional, like sliced jalapeno and also fresh cilantro or parsley. And my favorite always is fresh arugula. This dish is ready to be served. It is ready to be devoured, and it is so good for you. You will not even notice for a second that you're eating something so wholesome, nourishing, delicious, and satisfying for your cells and body and even soul. Cauliflower is from the cruciferous vegetables. It is automatically something that fights cancer and fights inflammation in our body, as well as all those spices like the turmeric, cumin, curry. All these amazing elements together are just a gift to our cells. I hope you're gonna make it for your family, and I hope you're gonna nourish your body in the most simplest and easy way. Thanks for watching, and if you're looking for more anti-inflammatory recipes, check out my channel for more. I'll see you in the next video.
That's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're going to give this recipe a try. If you did, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. And if you need some more help with eating more plant-based, check out my cookbook, Eggless Possibilities, where you can find so many meals that the whole family can enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.